How Locksbottom, Farnborough, Orpington, Kent, has changed in the 40 years up to 2023. In the early 1980s, I was very concerned about the number of old buildings disappearing, so I photographed parts of Orpington, Kent and London to create a record, focusing on listed and locally listed buildings, as well as anything interesting I came across. I photographed parts of Locksbottom in 1983 and have come back in 2023 to see what has changed and also what I have missed. We will look at pubs, old police station, houses, shops and unknown ruins. I'll also look at the old Workhouse, Farnborough Maternity Hospital and the old Turnpike Road. Please stay to the end for all the details. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Brought to you by Eclectic Experience. Change seen through images. If we start with the map, Locksbottom is located here, near Farnborough here, and Orpington here. It is part of the London Borough of Bromley, and we can see Bromley Common here, and is between Orpington and Bromley next to the A21. Focusing in on Locksbottom on another map from the London Borough of Bromley, it shows the listed buildings in orange and the locally listed ones in blue. Probably the most well-known historic image of Locksbottom is the Ye Olde White Lion at the top of the hill on the A21. But before we get there, we'll start on Crofton Road with these images of derelict buildings. Where were they and what happened to them? I took these photos in 1983 whilst on the way to photograph Locksbottom, coming from Orpington, but have struggled to identify where they are. On the roll of film, the next photo that I can identify is this one with a thatched roof, which is on Crofton Road, so I assume it is near here. I've looked carefully at the rows of cottages that are currently on Crofton Road, but none of them seem to match. Looking for clues on an old Ordnance Survey map from 1871, the most likely place looks like the bend in Crofton Road where Woodview Close is now, but the building does not look large enough to be the derelict cottages we are looking for, although the building does keep appearing on maps right up until the 1980s. Unfortunately, I can find no other clues, so we'll have to assume that these buildings were either demolished and the land used to build Woodview Close, or their appearance has been radically changed when they were restored. Moving up the hill, there is a thatched cottage that is a Grade 2 listed building, seen here in 1983. It is 18th century with 19th century additions. And then further up, there is this one, also a Grade 2 listed building that dates from the 18th century. Moving on to the main shopping parade, we come to the Black Horse, which unfortunately I did not take any photos of in 1983 and have been unable to find its age. I've looked on an old Ordnance Survey map from 1895 and we can see a building here where the Black Horse is, marked with a PH for pub. On the previous and earliest available Ordnance Survey map from 1871, the building was there but it wasn't marked as a pub, so the age remains unknown. Then we come to a newer building in 1983, which was then Safeways and is now occupied by Lidl. Then, just before the top of the hill, there is this weatherboarded building that is locally listed and seen here in 1983. It is early to mid 19th century and in 1983 held a sub-branch of the Nationwide Building Society. Here it is in 2023 next to the British Queen. Unfortunately, I didn't take a photo of the British Queen in 1983, and just like the Black Horse, I had struggled to find the age of the pub, but it was definitely in existence around 1890 based on an image in the book Around Orpington, details in the description. At the top of the hill was the police station. Amazingly, this police station, along with the one in St Mary Cray, served the whole of the Orpington area until the new station in Orpington High Street opened in 1984. This station is now closed and converted for commercial use, but when I photographed it in the 1980s, it was still open, as seen here. The police station opened in 1839 next to the major road into London and stayed in operation for over 140 years. The building is locally listed. Comparing the building 40 years apart from the outside, It has lost the M chimneys and this ladder, but apart from that looks remarkably similar given the radical change of use. Also, if we step back, the Crofton Road sign is quite different now, and obviously the cars have changed. On the other side of the road is Farnborough Lodge. In 1983 it was being renovated, as we can see from these photos. It is a Grade 2 listed building, and according to the official listing dates from around 1700, altered in the 19th century. We are at the Fantail junction, where the roads go off to Bromley and Croydon, as well as Orpington and Farnborough. The Chapter 1 restaurant seen here was in the 1980s actually called the Fantail. Swinging round onto the A21 or Farnborough Common, we come to the old White Lion, built in 1626. It's an incredible age. It is locally listed and it sat on the main road to London and was a coaching inn. Let's compare the buildings 40 years apart. The building itself has hardly changed. The main difference is signage, and the woodwork is now painted grey rather than black. The end part of the building is clad differently at the top, and the doors have changed. I find it interesting that a car is parked in virtually the same spot 40 years apart. The car from the 1980s is the three-wheeler Reliant Robin, quite rare now. Blurring the images to see the change. Just up from the White Lion pub, past Sainsbury's, is the Princess Royal Hospital. It is on the site of the old Farnborough Hospital, and the Farnborough Hospital grew out of the hospital wings of the old Workhouse that stood on this site and was originally built in 1844. All that remains now of the old buildings is the chapel, seen here in 2023, which is also locally listed. Farnborough Hospital and now Princess Royal were both maternity hospitals serving the local area, so numerous people have Farnborough, Kent as their place of birth, as Locksbottom used to be part of Farnborough. Going a little further down the A21 towards Farnborough Village, we come across a block of 4 locally listed weatherboarding properties, as seen here in 1983. These cottages sat on the old Turnpike Road that ran from London to Hastings, through Locksbottom and Farnborough villages. The White Lion pub, or Ye Olde White Lion, here, and the pubs in Farnborough, such as the George and the Change of Horses, would have served the travellers on this route. A turnpike road was basically a toll road where travellers paid to use the road, and the money collected was used to maintain it. This part of the road was turnpiked in 1749. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, please like and subscribe for future releases. Links to more videos on how Kent and London have changed can be seen at the end. I've actually done a whole series of videos on Orpington High Street, the first of which can be seen here. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.